we think the approval number is as low as it's going to get, almost, maybe a touch lower, but the other stuff that's underpinning this is so disastrous.
Yeah.
We're negative 25.
Negative 25 net approval, 505 days into his term. This is the kind of thing a two-term president might see this kind of drop in 1,000 days.
Sure.
That's realistic. This is precipitous in that it is in such a short period. Less than 2 years, he's dropped 25, a quarter. It's sort of hard to put it into words, but like 35% approval is probably where I expect it to sort of even out. I don't necessarily know if it's going to get much worse, although you never know. He could do something that doubles down on all this bad shit.
I have to tell you, I think the thing that's going to make it much worse is when we hit the 27th or so of this month and the strategic oil reserve is empty.
Yeah.
And they can't keep pumping the supply into the American market. I think at that moment, you're going to see people say, I'm paying $8 for gas.
Yeah. So what gas is at we have a figure.
Yeah. Let's do we got some issue stuff first. Let's do that. We'll get to the gas thing. Sorry, I'm obsessed.
So
doing great, Donald. You're
really
doing great.
Bleeding on inflation. This is a serious problem for him, especially since it was one of those verbatim campaign promises that he was going to bring inflation down. The headline today, it ticked up 4.2%.
Worse than it was when Biden left office, folks. It was 2.9.
Yeah, and so we had cooling inflation for a long time, and the war just shot it right back up to COVID levels. Basically, we're approaching that really. And this is going to be sustained long-term inflation as the war continues and even after it ends.
Right.
Whether the war goes a month or another year or 2 years or whatever.
And we're going to get to that question in a few minutes.
We will.
Andrew, look, if you look at all this stuff, even his strongest issues, he's underwater.
Yeah. Crime and immigration. Crime is one of those things that Republicans have leaned on as a crutch for years and years. And it's been really effective in elections across the country where they say Democrats are soft on crime. And voters believe that. Voters tend to swing towards Republicans if crime is the major issue in their district. But look, Trump is down 5 points on crime. That crutch that Republicans were relying on, it's broken. Immigration is another. It's the exact same situation except worse. And they're talking about making it worse. They're talking about they've given them whatever $70 billion through the House. I don't who knows whether or not it's going to go through the Senate. But they're talking about a surge in New York, and that is going to be another ugly, hideous, terribly blunderous move by Trump.
I mean, Mark Wayne Mullen makes Kristi Noem look like Machiavelli. He is a dumb person.
He's not a smart guy.
He will do this even more in an even more clumsy and heavy-handed way than Noem and Lewandowski did.
Well,
and Bovino.
It's impossible.
President Bovino.
Oh God. Lord save us. No, he couldn't win an election for shit. He's too short. Yeah. The thing is, like, the problem with Mark Wayne Mullen is they haven't cleaned house. They haven't cleared out all these bad actors that they brought in. The scrapings of the nation that they brought in is awful people. Yeah,
the whole brute squad thing is not going to work out in the end like they think it's going to work out.
No, it's the same. It's the same cast of characters. Bovino might be gone, Noem might be gone, but it's the same. It's the same makeup, it's the same character.
Right. Stephen Miller is still at the top of the food chain.
Exactly.
So it's always going to look like Lincoln said that an institution is the lengthened shadow of a man.
Exactly.
And that is, Thoreau said it about Lincoln. And so it's always going to reflect Stephen Miller.
Right.
The violence, the contempt, the lawlessness, all that stuff. Yeah, do this in New York City. See how it works out for you. Go ahead.
It's not.
Give it a run,
it's
guys.
going to be Minneapolis, except worse.
Yeah, except worse.
And these neighborhoods of immigrants they've been established in New York for many
300 years.
Many years.
300 years.
Yes,
300 years.
Before the United States,
before America was America.
Nation, these immigrant communities were established in New York, and trying to pry them out is going to be violent and ugly and cruel. And I think that's, of course, what Stephen Miller wants. But the reaction from Americans has consistently been, we hate this. This is awful.
Don't you think it's sort of like pumping a dry well at this point? Their base is already, their base isn't going to get more excited about being mean to immigrants.
No, I mean, with the base, they're squeezing blood from a stone. The base doesn't. The base is where it is. It's not going to react strongly because it's shrinking. Number one. And of course, it will react strongly. It loves the base loves the cruelty. That they eat that up. That's their bread and butter. But with it shrinking, that reaction is less and less impactful on elections.
I think that's right.
The reaction from regular people who see this as what it is, which is just wanton cruelty, the reaction is going to be just as negative as it was in Minneapolis, or worse.
Or worse.
And again, it's one of those things. You're not going to take the phones out of people's hands. You'll see all the videos. You'll see everything that happens on the streets, and it's a shame. It's terrible. But it's going to blow them up. I mean, it's going to destroy their polling even more than it's already done. And down 11 points on immigration is not the floor for his number on immigration.
No, it's not the floor. But I do think we've got to look at that. I mean, I've been thinking about, like, what's the summer play? What's the late summer, early fall play for the MAGA side of this equation? They're going to try to get the culture wars revved up.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try to get the immigration revved up. They're going to try to get the election denial stuff revved up.
Yep.
None of it works. I was looking at this candidate's website today, who's running for Congress in North Florida, and Republican MAGA guy. It's like, my values are to salute the police and bow to the cross and pray to the flag, pray to the cross, whatever. And I'm like, that is definitely going to help reduce the price of gas.
Yeah.
I mean, they are so tone deaf right now about all of this stuff. And look, suburban women held their nose for Trump in 2016. They came back in 2024 because they thought the economy needed a Trumpian juicing. We pulled them off in 2020, but they came back for Trump in 24. The immigration stuff repels them at a level that is almost underscored even in the public polling.
Yeah.
I think
you think about the force that's acting on these voters, and it's almost all coming from economic issues. Like, you can shout immigration, you can shout open borders all year long, but that's not what people are listening to. They're looking at the price of gas, and the price of gas has jumped and jumped and jumped, and it's going to keep going up and up and up. And as we get closer to the election, it gets worse and worse. It's a time bomb.
Yeah, and that economic stuff, as James Carville has said for a generation now, it is the economy.